when I'm flying above the sun. Can't see myself, can't see my fun.
Good evening and welcome along to day one, round one of the CIB Palm Hills PSA World Championships 2025-2026. What a venue. The Palm Hills Club and the PGC Golf Central Mall are venues this week. 5 courts in action here on day one and plenty of squash to get our teeth stuck into. This is the 30-minute preview show with myself, Michael Absalom, and we've got some very special guests coming in to the studio as well to preview the World Championships, the biggest event of the year. To be crowned world champion is obviously huge in any sport, whether it's lifting the World Cup or being crowned heavyweight champion of the world. It's the biggest accolade for the squash players as well. Squash is no different, and we're going to have a little look back at some of those faces, those memorable wins from years gone by.
No man or woman has ruled its sport like Heather Mackay has ruled squash.
World Championship Cup to Jeff Hunt of Australia.
Mohamed Khan from Pakistan has stunned the world champion.
Jana Shiha of Pakistan takes over where Jahangir Khan left off.
And Susan Devoy retains her world championship.
Great World Open champion. That's Vanessa Atkinson, Rachel Grinham.
Nour El Sherbini.
And that's game, set and match to the 21-year-old Nicole David.
4-time world champion. It's Jana Shiha.
The world championship for Vanessa Atkinson.
The third time of asking, Naur El Sherbini is crowned champion of the world.
It's 4th for Farag. Ali Farag equalises Maestro Shabona's record.
It's an 8th World Championship title for Nour El Sherbini. She's done the impossible.
Some memorable champions in there, including our very own Vanessa Atkinson, the World Open champion in 2004. Jana Shiha yet to get a World Championship under her belt, but a former player on the PSA Squash Tour, and obviously Egyptian as well. So you give us a nice flavour of what's to come this week. Vanessa, your memories looking back there, I guess, of your own experiences of the World Championship and what these players might be going through this week.
My memories have faded slightly. I can't believe it was 22 years ago that I won that title. I was there when Susan Devoy sort of won her last one. That was the first time I attended a World Championship or a World Open then in 1992, and never thought for a second that I would ever be able to win one. So it was a huge accomplishment. It was something that I had dreamed of, didn't really believe I could do it. And I had a window of opportunity and I took it.
Amazing, well done, congratulations. Jana, we're back in Egypt, we're back in Cairo. We're here quite often these days with the World Championships. How much does it mean as an Egyptian to be hosting the World Championships?
I mean, we love it, don't we? Just the amount of love that we have for the sport and the amount of effort that we're willing to do for us to build such a venue and put all the prize money and all the financing and everything. It's just the funding, and it's just great to have that on home soil.
$1.4 million this year. It's the biggest purse ever shared across the men's and women's game. Equally, Vanessa's going like this. Didn't have that in your day, did they, Vanessa?
It was a little bit more than in my day. I won't tell you how much it was, but it was a fraction.
Why not? Why won't you tell us?
A small fraction. Well, I won $9,000.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty shocking, though.
It was a lot of money to me back then. Yeah. I was very happy.
But I guess in terms of how the sport's evolved for the women in particular, it's parity, there's equal pay for both men and women. That's what we want.
I mean, I was about to say, the fact that, one, the prize money has gone up, but also equally for both, that's just amazing, especially in Egyptian squash as well, like having to, the women's squash came a little bit later than the men's, and it's just great to see that everything's equal right now.
Okay, we're going to spend a bit of time on looking into some of the past champions in a bit more detail. We're going to start with Nicole David, an 8-time world champion, an incredible player. And let's look back at some of those historic moments, winning her first title in Hong Kong and winning her last in 2014 in Cairo. But Vanessa, just your thoughts on Nicole David as a player and some of these championship wins.
Well, I remember that one very well, 2005. She took my title away from me. I'd lost to her in the semi-final, actually. That was possibly my chance to maybe to win another one. But it was the start of the reign of Nicole David, really. It was when she really started to take over and bring that very physical, very attritional squash. I think when she was younger, she wasn't the most amazing squash player, but she improved enough to be able to impose that physicality on her opponents, and just became an absolute nightmare and an incredible record, particularly at World Opens, World Championships.
What do you think it was, Jana, that made her such an incredible player and a great world champion?
A lot of things, but I just think the tin made a huge difference with how, again, at Nicole's time, the tin was 19-inch and not 17. And the way that she was playing, again, the physicality of the women's tour was a little bit less than how it is now. So maybe that also helped her a lot with her technical stuff, and then just how she really reads the court really well and knows how to put her shots in all four corners. So I think that really helped her for sure.
Anything else to add on Nicole David?
I mean, she raised the bar in terms of what squash players physically could do on a court, and you're right that the high tin certainly helped her game. And the end of her reign, sort of, when Sherbini came in around 2015, really did coincide with the lower tin, and she was very much against that, which was understandable because it was a nightmare for her. Her whole game was built around extending rallies, extending matches, just keeping you on there until you couldn't last anymore, and she just wasn't able to do that to the same extent. And of course it was the start of the Egyptian women, just bringing another different style of squash to the women's game.
So let's focus on one of those Egyptian women, Nour El Sherbini, last year's winner, beating Hani El Hammami in the final. Let's remind ourselves of what happened here. At this stage, she's won 7 world championships.
First game terminated 1. It's go hard at least.
What an incredible opportunity for Olivia Weaver.
There we go, the hand gesture just showing the 8 world titles that Nour El Sherbini now has, having won there in Chicago last year. Your memories from that, Vanessa, because I mean, I don't think anyone pegged her to be the winner at the beginning of the tournament, and she certainly showed her mettle towards the back end of the tournament.
She did. I mean, I didn't pick her for the win. She hadn't really shown the kind of form throughout the season that told us that she was going to win an eighth world championship. There's a strange kind of symmetry with her career and Nicole David's, even though they're very different in that she almost shouldn't maybe have won. Weaver had every chance to take her out in the semi-final. It was the same with Nicole David when she won her 8th title. Raneem El Walili had 4 match balls against her right here in Cairo. But again, she's one of those players that defies expectations. She's done it again and again, and no more so than last year in Chicago.
And just your thoughts as a young player growing up, I guess, not only watching Nour El Sherbini, but also playing against her, and just what a quality player she is.
I mean, unluckily, I haven't played against her on tour, and we've maybe trained a couple of times together, but she's always that type of player who knows how to win, knows how to end matches. And then even if, just like Vanessa was saying, like even if the form wasn't great throughout that season, but she just knows how to play that tournament. It's just one of her, it's her thing.
Let's analyse it a bit more then. This is that winning streak that she went on to win those 8 titles, the W obviously for a win, and the white L's are just the only losses in her World Championship career, and there's only 4 in total. And just take us through some of your standout moments there of matches that she's won and lost, Vanessa.
Yeah, I mean, the first one, 2016 or 2016 was her first win in Kuala Lumpur, actually, so taking over from Nicole on home soil. She took out out Laura Massaro in the final there, a fantastic final, really close match. I was there in commentary back in the early days of my commentating, and it's just an unbelievable record. There's no tournament, no big tournament on tour that she's won anywhere near as often as the World Championship. I think she's won 5 TOCs. That's the one that comes closest. And that just tells you the kind of player she is, that she needs the pressure and the big title to really bring her best squash, and that's what separates a player like Nicole David, like Nour El Sherbini, from the rest of us mere mortals. That they don't just do it once. There's lots of players that have won one world title, of which I'm one. To win it twice is a huge feat, but when you're winning 8 titles, that's right at the top of the pile where the air is very, very thin.
But where does that consistency come from, and why can a player like Nour El Sherbini just create it year after year after year?
I mean, again, it's her thing. For some reason, she just knows how to emotionally just contain herself and be able to push through whatever circumstances and like injuries or whatever it is, or not a great form throughout the whole season. And I think that's just something that she just kept building throughout her career. I mean, doing it 8 times is just insane, especially one that stands out for me is the Chicago one, because her form throughout the whole season wasn't that great. It's not the typical Sherbini that we know, and then she just stuns us and just goes and wins the whole thing at the end. So I think that's her thing.
Will that inspire the likes of Olivia Weaver, who lost her in the semi-finals and had her opportunities? Hania El Hammamy, who was bitterly disappointed but is now the world #1 in a much better position to beat Nour El Sherbini. They'll be chomping at the bit, won't they, this week?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what Hammamy is going to do. But she definitely looked back at that match, learned a lot from it. And
You're good mates with her. How was she feeling after it?
Well, obviously not great. I mean, imagine you were trying to win the whole thing and then expecting to win the whole thing maybe, and just eventually find yourself against a very, very strong opponent, and you weren't able to, execute the game plan that you wanted to. So it's definitely very upsetting.
Do you expect both those players to be a threat this week?
Absolutely. I mean, that's a year ago now, which maybe isn't much to us oldies a year's time, but in squash terms, it's a long time. And certainly for Hammamy, she's come on massively since then. Just the last 2 tournaments, she's had to play Nour El Sherbini to keep her world #1 spot. She's had to defend that title, and she's shown that she's very much up for that challenge. I expect it to be those 2 in the final. We're looking a little bit too far ahead now, though.
No, that's okay. That's okay. An early prediction from Vanessa. The play obviously got started at midday today. They've been playing for hours and hours already on the 4 other courts that are in action over at the Palm Hills Sporting Club. And here's just a few of the sound bites from the winners today.
5 gamers recently have been something that I've played a lot of. Through the qualifiers, I had 3 5 gamers back to back. So I really felt that I could back myself today. I know Georgia is a really good athlete, really gritty. I was really excited, though, to be able to play a more mature style of squash for myself, being able to take the ball in, so I had to trust that aspect of my game today. Playing Hania would be really cool, just to get that experience and play the world #1, see what it's really about, and just take some notes when I'm out there and hope for the best.
We played like 5 months ago in Pakistan, and I beat him 3-love, but this time I was not ready mentally that he will give me that much hard time, and that's the problem. Yeah, it's always a pressure, like when you are playing your opponent in their home soil, like their friends, their family, everyone is like cheering for them, so it's always difficult to play them. And like you said, I am playing second round with Mustafa Asal in Zakaria, who wants I will play with them. Yeah.
I'm very happy to be through. Caitlin obviously took me by surprise. She played really, really well, and I think I didn't deal with it pretty well, but I'm really glad I kept my nerves and I held myself, and I was able to get the win at the end. At 2-1 down, I just tried to tell myself not to panic and take it one step at a time, because I knew she had the momentum and she was the one playing well. So I just tried to relax a little bit and take it step by step.
Yeah, Nada Abbas coming back from 2-1 down to avoid that upset against Caitlin Watts. Noor Zaman safely through against Adam Hawal. Caroline Fuchs, we saw there beating Georgia Adley, and Jazz Hutton also coming out on top against Tori Malik in that all-English battle. We welcome them. Joey Barrington into the studio, and Jana Shiha is still here. Joey, another year. I know you've been here from the very sort of outset. 2009, I think you were saying at breakfast, was your first World Championship. So just your sort of initial thoughts of being here in 2026.
Yeah, I mean, I played it a lot through the early 2000s as well, but it's on Squash TV. We were launching back in 2009, which was in November, December, and it was pretty special. That was in Saudi Arabia. So now we're here in Giza, in New Giza, and looking for a monumental event this year.
Yeah, and Jana, we were just looking back there at some of the other action from the four courts over at the Palm Hill Sporting Club. It's hard, isn't it? Because we're here, we've got our focus on the glass court, but there's so much other squash going on at the club.
I was about to say, it actually feels like you're playing a complete different tournament. Like, it is still the same tournament, but you know, the venue and all the vibes you're just getting, it's giving a bigger kind of a venue. But there, just on the side courts, you're still playing Worlds, but it kind of feels like a smaller kind of thing, so the pressure is a little bit more on you to be able to finish and get through, to be able to come here and play on the bigger stage. So I think that's a lot what goes into the players' minds.
And players like Amina Orfi, I know, have sort of said they don't want to play on the glass court, they just want to stay on those traditional courts.
Yeah, it's quite unusual for one of the higher seeds to do that. You usually want to take advantage of the glass court and get on there, get used to the conditions, which are very windy, and I think it's going to heat up a lot more over the next couple of days. But yeah, that was quite an unusual call. I was quite surprised to hear that.
Why would she have done that?
I mean, she probably trains a bit on those courts. I mean, she's used to them, wants to see it as two tournaments. The key, I feel, with these top-ranked players, when they're going through an event, we had it in 2024 when we divided between Palm Hills and the museum. It was kind of like very separate events, so you kind of put that away, a couple of rounds playing there and then onto the glass, and she's kind of refreshes mentally. Maybe that could be an aspect to it.
And Jana, what will they be feeling now as well? You've obviously had a chance to speak to some of the players this morning, and I just get a sense of what the mood is going into the 2025-2026 World Championship.
I mean, it's the biggest tournament of the year, right? Who wouldn't be excited? But it's a lot of pressure as well. You want to show what you've been trained doing the whole season, and you want to just prove yourself, even if you want to just get as much as you can deeper in the tournament. And I think it's a fine line and balance between the pressure being it positive and just negative. So I think that's just where the players will show why the top players are the top players.
Well, there are 4 men's champions this year taking part in the 2025-2026 World Championships, and our very own Lisa Aitken caught up with one of them.
Let's move on to the final. How do you devise a game plan to play Ramy Ashour?
Do you want me to be honest now?
Yeah.
A lot of people know this, but I came 10 minutes before my match because I was playing cards with my friends.
Sorry, what? It's the World Championship final.
Yeah.
And you arrived at the venue 10 minutes before.
10 minutes before the match. I arrived there, and Omar Abdelaziz and my fitness coach at that time was waiting for me, and they were like so panicked. And I had my friends with me in the car, and then they asked me, let's go. And I said, okay, I'll just park the car and come. Let any of your friends park the car and get into here right now. You're 10 minutes before the match. I'm still not dressed. I still have to change, and I still have to do my warm-up. And I jumped into the squash courts, and Ramy was all sweat.
But that was part of your plan. You're saying that was deliberate.
No.
You got lost in the fun of playing cards.
Yeah.
And so you're warming up, you've 10 minutes.
I have 10 minutes.
Well, what do you do?
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And you can see that full interview on Squash TV and also on our YouTube channel with Lisa Aitken and Karim Gawad, the 2016 world champion, of course. Now, Joey, you were there for that one. I mean, it's a pretty incredible circumstance.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite bizarre because I was with PJ in over for that event, and we were in the lobby and we were waiting to get some transport to the venue, and he was just walking up and down the lobby, just chilling out, and his mates were there with the cards on the table. The night before, he'd ordered a pizza to consume before the World Championship final. I mean, he's so laid back, unbelievable.
And we're going to take a look at his run in Cairo as well to get that World Championship back in 2016, and some familiar names and some not so familiar names there, but some really tough early rounds.
Yeah, Nathan Lake was 2-love up. He was nearly out of the tournament in the first round, Gawad. They managed to win that in 5. And then we had a few situations with Nick Matthew was actually struggling with food poisoning. That was why you had that bizarre 34-minute. You would never expect that from the number 4 seed. He was struggling, but that was the key. The key battle was taking out Mohamed El Shorbagy, the number 1 seed, in 5 games. That's what earned him this opportunity to have a go at Ramy, whose body was actually really struggling at that period of time. Around that time, his body was really falling apart, and he was struggling, hence pulling out in the final.
And Jana, just any extra to add on to that one, that run?
I mean, it's crazy how the first couple matches were all very lengthy and 3-2s, and then just anti-climax at the final, and just, you know, happens to win the whole thing from retirement from Ramy Ashour. But, you know, I bet he was very happy with that.
Doesn't matter, does it? Anti-climax day, he's sort of last man standing, if you want.
Well, this is the amazing situation with these. You never know what's going to happen. Turn up, you know, an opponent can get injured, but I mean, he earned his place to be in that final. And this was sadly the situation, and you never want to see this. Ramy Ashour's body, like I said, was breaking down. We were umming and ahhing if he was actually going to play that final. He tried to come on. You can see for him there, he's actually quite heavy in his physique, so he hadn't trained at all for that situation. And then you've got the baby-faced assassin looking as fresh as a daisy.
And he's captured some of that form again 10 years later. I mean, that's the amazing thing. He's back inside the top 5 and playing some of his best squash. You know, this sort of caliber of squash.
I mean, Karim Gawad is just an insane player. Which, you know, the consistency is not his best friend, that's for sure. But when he's on his full attacking game and style, he's just ruthless. And I just love seeing him playing, you know, with all the free spirit that he can just have to get to his full plan.
A realistic contender this year?
He looked very good at Grasshopper. He won that tournament. He was very, very ruthless in the final, and so, I mean, he can always be a danger. You never know what you're going to get with him, and if he's up for it, then he could be a real problem for someone.
Okay, another champion that we're going to look back at is Mohamed El Shorbagy, winner in 2017. This was my first World Championship, this one, so great memories of being in Manchester, and he took on his brother Marwan in the final. Just your memories of that one, Jana?
I remember watching this from home, and I saw how emotional that was. I mean, it was emotional for everyone watching, because, you know, you could see the emotions on the older Sherbagi. The parents were there. It was in England. It's a special place for the both of them, you know, playing your brother at the only World Championship that you won, so you can see just the emotions from both players, actually. And I bet Marwan was also very, very happy for his brother.
Another good one to commentate on, Joey.
Yeah, it was, and you know, it was his third final of a World Championship. He lost in 2012 and 2014 to Ramy Ashour in epic battles, and taking on his brother, as Jana said, in England was quite fitting for his first World Championship win. And the run through, you start to see the names clocking up, and there's some monumental names that he does take out. Joel Makin hadn't quite reached his kind of mark on the
or his beard phase.
No, not at all. But then you start to look at, Ramy Ashour again, a bit of a struggling period for him through 2016, 2017. But Nick Matthew and Gregory Gaultier along the way to get into that final against his brother, and the pressure of playing his brother. He was 2-1 down against Marwan as well. So you imagine how nervous that would have been. He probably had a word in his ear just to say, come on, mate, let me have one. And,
I'm the eldest.
Yeah.
Amazing. There's that run again, just in black and white for you, just to take us through the World Championship in Manchester in 2017. So Mohamed El Shorbagy, how do we rate his chances this year?
I mean, he just got out of the top 10 for a very, very long time.
He'd been there 100 years, hasn't he?
I think so. Yeah, something like that. And I think, I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know what his mind is going through. But at this point, he just has nothing to lose. You know, like he's done all the possible records that any player could do, and I think he just, you know, has it all. And I think it's just now, just play and enjoy the last bit of maybe possibly your career, and just see what might happen. You never know.
Is his body running out of steam?
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. He's done all the records. I mean, I can't believe he's still playing. We were thinking a couple of years ago he might hang up the rackets. He's done the top 10 where he's surpassed everything. And you know, I don't want to see him completely bowing out and hobbling off the court. That's the worst thing, is when his body's breaking down, he's having to concede matches due to injury and his body failing. I don't want to see that. So, yeah, I mean, he's not a contender for this event, but he's certainly been someone that's played monumental finals that we've seen against, like I said, Ramy Ashour and also Ali Farag as well more recently.
Should he have won more World Championships? The caliber of squash that we've seen, all these records that you're talking about. Should he have won more World Championships?
Well, the finals that he played he had 3 of those 4 finals that he lost went to 5. 2 of them against Ramy Ashour was some of the best squash I've ever seen on the PSA Squash Tour. So, I mean, for me, the world #1 status speaks for itself. The domination of that world #1 spot and what he achieved, that really does surpass winning all those World Championships, because it's a consistency factor.
And do you feel he was a catalyst? Because obviously he was Egyptian and he sort of switched his nationality now to English, having lived in Bristol for so many years. But was he a catalyst to sort of this, you know, revolution, if you like, here in Egypt, of just immense squash players that play the game at such an electric pace?
Oh, 100%. He changed the men's game, you know, and he's played with at least 3 different generations of like he's played with the legends and then he's with his age and then the younger ones, and for him to still be in the top 10 for all of those years is just like the most impressive thing anyone could do. And I think again he's like beating all the records, and I think he's definitely one of the best of all time.
And you were there in the early years, Joey. I know you used to sort of pop over here and you spotted him as a youngster and sort of had to give your dad a nudge and say, we need to work with this chap.
Yeah, it's amazing how things work out, but it's been a career and a half. It's been amazing to see him play and commentate on him.
Okay, let's get a little love for Diego Elias, the winner in 2024. Last time we were in Cairo, and a little reminder of his final against Mustafa Asal in the 2023-2024 season, coming into the Lions' Den, as you say, Joey.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the track record of players winning world championships in Egypt, Peter Nicol in 1999 against Ahmed Barada, and then David Palmer, who played Gaultier in 2006. So this one, for me, is worth, I've always said it, 2 world championships. He went through, he only lost 1 singular game, and that was to Ali Farag in the semi-finals. I mean, it was quite a bizarre ending because the crowd were completely shocked. Everyone was shocked by it. Nobody clapped for him, and he you know, it was thoroughly deserved the way he played. He got through, and he looked great from the quarterfinals. When he really started hitting the radar was taking out Gawad in those quarterfinals, 3-love.
Why is that, Jana? Why does the home crowd, you know, sort of not get behind the non-Egyptian players when they win a world title?
I mean, it's, again, unfortunately or fortunately, you know, Egyptian squash is just the core of the pipeline of squash right now, and then when you see different names up there, it kind of feels nice. Even to Egyptians, like personally, I would love to see different names. Kind of makes it a little bit more spicy. And having to see this is definitely a great thing for the sport. And again, incredible tournament. Just lost out 1 game, and especially in the final to beat Mustafa Asal 3-love was also a huge win.
And Joey, is this one of the greatest runs to a world championship title?
Yes, because of the circumstances, the fact that he dropped 1 singular game, but the fact he was playing in Cairo. This was geared up for Ali Farag to win, possibly Mustafa to upset that situation, and he beat both of them, semi-finals and final. It was an absolute belter. It was amazing.
Any other memories from that night, Jana?
I mean, again, for me, it was nice to see a fresh name on the list, and I think he's definitely going to look out for this one and this year and try to, you know, do his best to have his number 2.
And how do we rate Diego's chances this year? Because he beat Mustafa Asal, the current world number 1, in El Gouna, the final platinum event of the season.
Diego's going to make inroads into the back end of the tournament and look at trying to win it. He needs to get through his rounds quite comfortably, like he did in 2024, winning 3-loves, being efficient, smooth. When he's got that on his card, that's when he's a player that can certainly be a contender.
Okay, 2 minutes for Mustafa Asal before we head off to the live action on the glass court. He was the winner just last year in Chicago, so our defending champion, and he took Ali Farag out in the final, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, he blew everyone away. It was a Jahangir Khan type performance throughout that World Championships because he didn't drop a singular game. And this really was the end of Ali Farag, unfortunately, retiring, a shock retirement after this World Championship. We didn't expect it before the British Open, but he blew him away. He was too strong. It was a fast front wall. And that extra power, and you can see obviously what it means to him, a former World Junior champion, first World Championship in his locker in Chicago.
And Jana?
I mean, for me, this would be the best run. He did not drop a single game, and then at his age, he was 23 at that time. It's just like the most impressive thing, you know.
And beating Ali Farag as well in the final.
And Ali Farag having to retire right after, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, do we blame Mustafa Asal for that? I mean, that run that ended Ali's career.
I mean, it's going to knock anyone's confidence. I mean, Ali Farag very rarely gets beaten like that. I can't really remember when he was 100% healthy, losing in that fashion in the final of a World Championships, which Ali Farag has dominated, you know, over those past few years, winning that title 4 times. But yeah, no, it was thoroughly deserved and great to get on the pedestal there. He's, you know, a world champion, deserved for Mustafa Asal. He had a great season as well to then get that title.
And Jana, based on what we've seen this season, does Mustafa Asal have what it takes to retain that world championship? He'd be the one, I think, first. There's only 6 other men, or he'd be the 6th. If he does retain it.
I definitely do think he has what it takes to retain the title for sure.
Okay, and why, Joey? I saw on your predictions on social media that well, everyone has gone unanimously for Mustafa Asal. Why is that?
It's a massively stacked top half of the draw. You've got Diego in there, Zakaria in there, Joel Makin. It's stacked compared to the bottom half. Paul Cole's kind of on quite a nice mission if he goes through to seeding there, and this is his home club. He's supported by Palm Hills. He loves playing in Egypt. He doesn't get nervous playing in Egypt. I don't know if he'll get nervous here. I feel that he'll be up for vengeance after El Guna, particularly the way El Guna ended.
Yeah, well, we might get into that a little bit later on in the week, but that is it for our preview show here on day one. As the sun sets, the action is about to get going on the glass court, so do head on over to Squash TV right now for all the action of the glass court. As I said, if you want to keep watching the action on the traditional courts, that's an option for you as well. We're going to be with you throughout the week. Day 1 of 9 here at the CIB PSA Palm Hills World Championships. Come back and join us very shortly, and if you haven't got a Squash TV subscription, now's the time to go and buy it. See you in a minute.
When I'm flying above the sun,